Hey, what's up guys, so Best here. Now, a little while ago, the makers of this Dobby pocket drone approached me and they wanted to sponsor this video and wanted me to show you what this drone can do. Now, first off, I would say that I'm a little skeptical of drones of this size because I haven't had really good experience with them and they break a little bit easily or are not really fully featured, but that is definitely not the case with this pocket drone. And the first things you see inside of the box, you get the drone, but we'll get to that in a second. But you get a charging cradle and also a 970 milliamp battery. And the good thing is that this charging cradle is using USB Type-C, but also does come with a micro USB adapter just in case you want to use that as well. But now let's go to get to the most important thing in the box, of course, the drone. Now, the first thing I did was compare it to my mouse that was sitting on my desk, and you can see this thing is not that much bigger than that itself. Actually, it's a little bit smaller in some ways. And the way they achieve this is by having the propellers actually fold into the body of the drone when not in use. And when you're ready to use them, just fold them out and you're set to go. Now, setup takes a few minutes. You need to download their app, which is available for iOS and Android. And since your phone is the controller for this drone, the drone is going to create a Wi-Fi hotspot, and on your phone you're going to connect to that. And once you do that, just open up the app and it'll have you set up the drone for the first time. Now, this drone can be flown indoors, but since we had a couple semi-warm days here in St. Louis, I had to go out to the park and take this thing out. So all the footage is going to be from outside use. So anyway, I made my way to the park and took the drone out of my pocket. I stretched out its propellers and I was getting ready to take off, but I did notice I was standing on grass, and since this drone doesn't have any legs, I didn't want to take it off from the grass. But I remember that this drone does have a mode where you can take it off from your hand. So if you don't have like a hard, clear surface, you can actually just let it take off from your hand, and it gently takes off once you press that button. And I was really nervous the first time, but after a couple tries, I was set to go. Now, my number one concern with a drone of this size is how it's going to be able to handle wind and other variables that may cause it to fly all over the place. But this drone was able to maintain its position no matter where I had it. And it's mostly due to this section at the bottom of the drone, which is the optic flow and ultrasonic positioning module. Say that 3 times fast. But anyway, this has a little camera on the bottom and other sensors that will allow it to kind of know where it is from the ground and be able to manage different variables to make sure it can stay as stable as possible. Now, to fly the drone, you do have a couple different ways you can control it. You can choose to use a motion sensing setup, which will allow you to tilt your phone forward and backward and left and right, and that will move the drone. But I opted to go with the kind of traditional dual stick layout that's on the screen. So it'll give you 2 sticks for your thumbs, and you have 1 stick that will allow you to rotate the drone or have it go up and down. Then the other one will have it fly forward and backwards. And some of the video footage I'm showing you is directly from the drone itself. This drone does have a 1080p camera on the front of it that can actually swivel down, so you can rotate it down. So if you do have the drone high up in the air, you can still capture footage on the ground, or you can just keep it facing forward and have a selfie camera on your drone if you want to do things like that. Now, the video quality is what I expect from a drone of this size, but what I didn't expect is the amount of features that you can do with this drone while flying it. All right, so first up is that this drone can listen to certain voice commands, and one of the commands is simply to tell it to take off like this. Dobby on. And now you're flying. And then also you do have target tracking, which allows you to track an entire person or entire thing. So I flew it up in the air and I drew a rectangle around myself, and then I was able to actually walk around and even run around a little bit, and the drone will follow me and it will fly and keep track of me. So again, you want to be still paying attention to make sure you don't have any trees or anything else in the way of the drone itself, but this did work very, very well. Now, when you're done flying, you do have a return to home feature, which will allow the drone to automatically fly back to where it took off. So once you press that button, you don't have to do anything else. It'll go ahead and navigate back to where it took off from. Now, at this point, you can choose just to let it land on the ground, or you can allow it to land in your hand. It'll gently sense your hand, land down, and then shut the propellers off. And then you just fold the propellers up, throw it in your back, and you're set to go. All right, next up, what about durability? Well, you can see from this video clip, it actually stops abruptly because I ran the drone into a tree. It hit a few branches and fell on the ground hard, and I ran over there thinking the worst, but I did notice that one of the propellers was actually detached from the drone itself. That was technically still connected via the wires, but I needed to line up a couple different grooves and push the propeller back in, and just in a matter of seconds, it was back fixed and I was able to start flying again. So you can tell by all these dirt and grass stains on this drone. I did crash it a couple times while filming this video, since it is a little hard to work the camera and also make sure I control the drone, but it did manage to survive my reckless flying. All right, so now how do I sum up my experience with the drone? Well, the first thing I would say is that the size is the best feature of this drone because it's very compact, very portable. You can take it anywhere, throw it in your bag. It's always gonna be with you, ready to go, as long as you have the battery charge. But the second thing is that it does come with a lot of features that other drones that are bigger in the same category don't come with. So they didn't skimp out on adding features and added things that really allow it to give you an experience that you'll find with drones that may cost incredibly more than this particular size drone. Now, a couple of things to consider is that this drone does not come with a carrying case. So if you are gonna be taking this thing out a lot, you probably wanna get something to protect it. And also too, the battery life is around 9 minutes of flying time, which is actually pretty reasonable for a drone of this size. But if you feel that you're gonna be flying a lot, you might wanna invest in another battery. And so this drone is priced at $399, and I have all the links down below in the description box if you want to find more information about this drone, and also check out where you can buy it. But I also wanna hear what you guys think by leaving your comment down below what you think about this drone. And so I wanna hear from people who own drones and also people who are looking to buy a drone for the first time. And like always, follow me on all my social media and subscribe to me here on YouTube if you haven't already. Yes, I'm telling you to, but please do. But anyway, guys, thanks for watching this video, and I will catch you later. Peace.